Hello everyone, today I will be reviewing the Pacific Northwest Tarot by Brendan Marnell. Which right off the bat, let me just say, I really think the concept for this deck is amazing. I think I've said it before, I really like it when tarot decks can bring in things from the real world and can be like kind of educational by giving like in this deck, examples of various living things from the Pacific Northwest are like assigned to each card. So by reading the guidebook, you learn more about the Pacific Northwest. I think that decks that are like that are really cool. And I also really like that this deck is about the Pacific Northwest specifically, because in the Pacific Northwest, it's a very like spiritual kind of hippy dippy place. So I think it's really fitting that there would be a tarot deck all about it. But anyways, yes, let's get into it. So I really like the art of this deck. I'm just going to show off some cards that I particularly admire. This is the Two of Pentacles. I like the detail of the wings here. I think that's cool. This is the Six of Swords. I like the detail on the shell and just the way that the hermit crab is drawn. Yes, this is Six of Cups. I like this one just because, like, the babies look really cute. Oh, this is the Chariot. I don't know what it is about this one. I like the detail on these two. Are they dolphins? I don't know. I don't know. I need to check the guidebook so I can figure it out. This is so important now. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Gray whales. Okay, yes. I like the detail on these gray whales here, and I like the contrast between them and like the ones that are still below the water. And I like how they look all together. And I only just now noticed this, but there are 7 of them, just like how Chariot is number 7. So that's fun. And you know, now that I'm looking at it, I also really like the handwriting. Oh, just random things. This is the Knight of Wands. I also really like this one. This is, yeah, of the cards that I pulled out, this is the first one with a more like, I don't know, autumn-esque color scheme. That's kind of a weird way to put it, but it's true. But yes, I like this. I like the shading on the wolf here, the creature. I like the shading on the plants. It's a pretty card. I dig it. And this is the Seven of Cups. I think that the ripple effect on this one was very, very well done. And it also is fitting for the card. This is the Nine of Swords. I love this one because it's so foreboding. Like, even the glowing eye is just so like, ooh, like, danger's ahead. This is the Hierophant. I think that the shading on the bee was, like, really well done. And it's just very, I don't know. It's a very, like, orderly design, which also makes sense for the Hierophant. And this is the Seven of Wands. I like this one. It's fairly simplistic. It's got kind of like the colors, like the color scheme is fairly simplistic. It's got like a beautiful simplicity to it. Yes. Now on to some cards that I think are really clever. So the Queen of Wands is represented by this black cat, which is cool because in the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Queen of Wands has a black cat next to her. So I like it whenever people represent that in their tarot decks, and I think this was a cool way to do it. And also, like, a cat being the Queen of Wands, I think is pretty fitting because, you know, like, independence and whatnot. I don't know what I'm saying. Then this is the Seven of Swords. I think it was really clever how we see the weasel stealing an egg for the thief card. I think that's nice. Then there's a Two of Swords. I think it's cool how the, like, what's being represented here is a mole and, like, how, oh my god. I think it's cool how there's a mole depicted on this card because moles are blind, and in the original Rider-Waite-Smith, the figure in the Two of Swords is blindfolded. Also, like, nice incorporation of the moon, which is also present in the original Two of Swords card. And then lastly, here are the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups, and like these are the same birds. Like, this is them like getting together. This is them starting a family. I think that's cool. I think that's a nice way to do it. Oh. And I haven't shown them yet. This is the back. This is like the back of the cards. Same upright, upside down. And I really like the backs of the cards just because something about them, it really puts me at ease. I think it's just like the shade of green used, I don't know, puts me at ease. Alright, so on to the guidebook. I really like the guidebook for this deck. It's worth noting that there are not reverse interpretations, but I still really like it. It has the card and like the creature or thing, living being depicted on it. It gives some keywords, and then what I like about it is that it gives like a scenario, like it gives the scenario like associated with the being on the card that explains the card's meaning. I think that's a creative way to go about describing the meaning of the cards, and I'll just read this one, the Two of Swords, so you can get a taste. The mole stopped digging as she sensed a change in the soil ahead. To one side, the earth was drier and potentially more stable, but to the other side, the dampness might mean a more abundant selection of worms and slugs. Maybe the roots in that direction would keep the tunnel stable, or maybe she should go deeper where the soil was more densely packed. She wrinkled her nose and rested, paralyzed with indecision, her mind sniffing down the infinite branching paths that the future tunnel before her could take. But she couldn't deliberate forever. The mole made a choice and resumed digging, taking the first blind steps in her journey onward. Yeah, I think that's a really creative way to go about describing the cards, and I also like how the way this guidebook is done, it gives like even really experienced tarot readers new ways to look at the cards. I think that, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it gives like tarot readers different ways to look at the cards, which I think is really neat. And like the guidebook is fairly extensive, as you can see there. And this is a small thing, but I also think that like the art style in this deck, it's very consistent. What I mean is that like the same amount of intention and detail is given to both animals and plants. Like you can see the blueberries here. They might not be blueberries. I mean, I don't know. The fruit here, like the shading is really well done, and it's similar to shading seen on animals elsewhere in the deck. But yes, overall, I really like this deck, both as a concept and in its actual execution. I think it's very cool. Very pretty deck, very clever and extensive guidebook. I would highly recommend this one. It's worth noting that like this is one of the more expensive tarot decks that I own, which, you know, I don't know. It's good that the artist knows their worth, I suppose. Just, you know, a detail worth noting. And I do understand it because the pictures in this deck are all like very detailed. Clearly a lot of effort went into this deck and into the guidebook too. But yes, I would highly recommend the Pacific Northwest Tarot, and I really like it, and that's all I have for you. Goodbye. See you next time.